I'm your host Rob, and today we'll be reading What is your not safe for work secret that you are proud of? I'm currently with a friends and benefits situation with one of my senior manager. It started off with a drunken night out, and we duck pretty much every day. It's quite awkward in office because she's my boss's boss, and during our business review meetings, my face goes red when she asks me something. I'm in a similar situation, but it turned into a serious relationship and now live together. She's a senior manager and I was her direct report. It was fun sneaking around, but now the CEO knows and moved me under someone else. It's great though, because we can focus on what has turned into a real relationship and be open about it. And for anyone saying that they're just looking out for the company, yeah, they're doing that as well. I once had to call in court as a witness for an altercation that happened at my work. I was placed under oath over the phone. My girlfriend at the time blew me the entire time. I'll tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. So did you see Mr. Simmons punch Mr. Smith? Yes. On our honeymoon, my wife gave me a BJ while I was standing at the window to our hotel room, looking out over Niagara Falls, Canadian side. To this day, I'm proud to say I've received a BJ while looking down on one of the natural wonders of the world. Edit, for those suggesting that I add the remaining natural wonders to my bucket list, I'm afraid I have to disappoint you. A bout with cancer and complications from a 22-hour surgery to remove the tumor had resulted in some plumbing problems, among which are an inability to get an erection. So while I may have some very nice memories of sex, that's about it. There won't be any new ones of any time soon. My first BJ came from two girls at the same time. I think I set the bar a little too high, a little too early. Wondering how long that lasted. Can't think of myself lasting more than 2 minutes. Some guys have the other problem. Took like my fourth BJ to actually come from it. Took like 20 minutes. Doesn't translate to sex though. I used to have bulimia, and after years of self-induced vomiting, have no gag reflex whatsoever. Seriously, when I get a guy and he finds out, the reaction is priceless. Rest in peace here inbox, if actually someone sees this. Also, I have a question about this, because you're actually not the first person I've seen who had this particular trait. Does the whole no gag reflex thing mean that you simply don't feel things hitting the back of your throat anymore? Whenever people mention having no gag reflex, I always imagine guys absolutely going to town in an aggressive manner, which is perhaps not the case. I rented a room for a quiet couple in their mid-30s during my uni years, and I got involved with them after I found out they're both swingers. The husband is a dom, and the wife and I are switches. I didn't even realize I'm attracted to women until I met them. Apart from the DSing most swinger parties and sex, mostly me and her, he enjoyed watching but sometimes get involved when she and I asked nicely. They're pretty good landlords. She cooked all the time, I did too when I'm free, and she helped me review my uni work because she's a doctor and what I study. He and I go to pubs together and have a good time, but mostly he taught me how to survive in the competitive world, how to deal with stress and how to manage my finance. Then attended my graduation and celebrated my master's and PhD. It's almost 10 years since I moved in, and even though I still keep in touch with them, no sex, but as friends, I still miss them a lot. They were my mentors, and sex was just a bonus. Wow, great story. My girlfriend put a grapefruit on my wang once. I had to delete this before she sees it. New line, hogla, like a bobcat being waterboarded. In high school, my girlfriend blew me in the church's storage room in front of the big statue of Jesus. The Lord was kind that day. Blessed be the BJ. Amen. I once farted as I got on a packed train in London. I knew it was a killer, but played it cool. The doors closed behind me, and 10 seconds later, a girl sitting next to her boyfriend hits me and shouts, "You're disgusting." Poor guy took one for the team. He was like, "I can't believe you done this." I rode a bike for a 40-mile journey on LSD in Tokyo during the height of cherry blossom season. That sounds magical. What's more magical is that he was able to find LSD in Japan. I once made my college girlfriend scream so much and so loud during orgasm that her downstairs neighbors, a kind elderly woman, came upstairs, banged on the floor, and insisted that she didn't hear my girlfriend's voice immediately. She was going to call the cops. We both lay in bed, laughing as my girlfriend reassured her that she was quite well, thank you. After that, she tended to cram a pillow or stuffed animal in her mouth to muffle the sound effects, LOL. Downstairs neighbors also works as a euphemism for duck. Her duck literally came up and asked if she was okay. Ask Reddits like this always makes me wonder if I have just an exceedingly boring life or if people are just phenomenal liars. You also have to remember that 50 people have real kinky stories are an incredibly small portion of the population. Almost all of us have multiple stories, so we really screw the bell curve or something. I don't know how to do statistics. I ducked my then girlfriend, now wife, on the conference room table of an old job one night. The boss held a training class there the next day. Edit, I'm so thankful that to my knowledge, none of my family or friends are on Reddit. My wife would be horrified to know thousands of people had seen this post. Any poop stains left behind? I'm sure you're disappointed to know that there were none. The first time I came home from the army, I hadn't seen my wife in 7 months. We stayed at my parents' house. She had moved with a mother at the time to save money. My parents went out the first night we were there to see a movie without us, in a kind of wink wink nod situation. I had been in an incredibly stressful environment for 7 months without seeing my wife. I was now highly physically fit. I screwed that girl so hard I broke my cherry wood bed frame and the bed collapsed beneath us. I was pretty busy that week and I forgot to fix it before I left for Germany. The first phone call to my dad and he said, "Oh yeah, I fixed the bed frame for you. I don't know what you did to that poor girl, but I hope she's alright." More laughing. Sorry for my bad English, it's my second language. Not sure if this fits, not proud of the moment, but I am proud of the result. Me and my wife had kids and decided that there was enough children. We married and after kids were born, we went on our honeymoon. We got drunk, had sex without protection. The next day we panicked a bit, went to the drug shop and got a regret pill. My wife took it at the hotel room. Crisis cancelled. After this we thought nothing about it and continued with the honeymoon. Like half an hour later she gives me a BJ. She never gives me a BJ as she chokes easily, so this was a real treat for me. When it came hard and the cum shot landed on the back of the mouth, she puked all over the floor and my cock. We laughed it off and joked about it for the rest of the vacation. A few weeks later when we came home, she did not get her period. We got anxious and turned out she was pregnant. The only time we had sex without protection was at the hotel room, when she puked after the BJ. She must have puked at the pill as well. We now have 3 kids. The youngest is amazing, the other 2, and I'm proud to have him. But he must never ever find out how he was conceived. Turns out blowjobs do make babies. When I was in college, I lived in a dorm that had a pool table room. One night, I was drunk with my then boyfriend, and we stumbled in around 3 a.m. to have sex. We ended up stripping down totally, not really caring about our nudity since the dorm was dead that night. While we were doing the deed, we ended up on the ground on the non-door facing side of the table, and almost immediately, someone opens the door and turns the light on. X and I freeze. I turn my head to look under the table and see their feet freeze as they see our clothes scatter everywhere. Not a noise was made, no one moved. Completely awkwardness for what felt like ever, about 7 seconds. The other guy just turned the light off and backed out and never got caught. Edit, we got caught obviously, but I more meant that they never found out who we were. Trust me, we would have heard it from someone in the dorm. He just really wanted to play pool. A few times a year I translate hentai Jap English so that other people can enjoy the story. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.